How's everybody going so far? I just finished another book. It's called Just a Reaper. It's about a young Grim Reaper trying to keep hell off Earth, but that's enough about that. Well, I'll talk more about it later, actually. But for right now, I want to talk more free flowing and how my mind is after I finished another book, spending a month or so just drawing 50, drawing 50 pages. And it's interesting. After you finish one book, after you finish several books, I mean, it becomes like part of the process, the grind. Whereas you finish your first book ever, it feels good. There's like this euphoria of you just got something done, and it feels tangible. I remember that feeling, especially with book two of Purgatory Academy, where it was twice the length, and it felt like, man, for 2 years, this thing's finally done. And I think Just a Reaper was way more. It took way more time to do that. And if I had the effort process of the entire 116 pages, it would probably be done in like 2, 3 months if I was just locked in and I did not have to worry about money at all. But that's the reality that a lot of indies like me find themselves in. They are focused on having a job, they are focused on income. Well, usually people in my position, they have jobs, so they don't have to worry about income. So whatever they finish is purely for pleasure. And I'm not saying I don't find pleasure in what I'm doing. I see that I'm doing this in a with a different outcome from most, right? I'm focused on how I can make my comics, how would I put this? I can be able to live off the fruits of my labor of making comics day in, day out, showing to people, selling it to people. And I've equally fallen in love of the process of selling these books as making them, because when you're making a book, writing it and drawing it, your my mind just shifts to different gears of what format is best suited to focus on at that particular point. When I'm writing on it, I focus on how can I make the audience understand that this is what the characters need at this specific moment in time. When I'm drawing it, I think about what is the best way to express that emotion, because there's no voices or timing in sense of timing like in film. I manipulate the panels, the size and distance from each other to emphasize key moments and drawing the characters with their emotions. And I know there's a myriad of other ways to do that with lettering, but I don't take I don't go that far. I go what I feel like is needed, right? And when it comes to doing that time and time again, from layouts to thumbnailing, well, I guess thumbnailing is the part of the layout structure, but from thumbnailing to line art, and what I want to get better at is flattening, using the grayscale to understand, to not only be a part of a character's design, but as a method to draw the viewer's eye to what I want the viewer to see at that specific point in time. Well, I should say panel, right? And then after doing that for over 100 pages, and I compile all the pages into a book and write down my thoughts and the author's notes and staple everything together, put everything together and showing off my thumbnailing process within the back of the book, I go out and vend to different events trying to summarize the whole experience of what I want to say to a person that did not know I existed 20 seconds ago. And I have this challenge again and again and again to make this person who probably don't care that I care about me or what I do for a living to care. It's a cycle with different gears that I've grown to like. And with that last part specifically, I find that it's easier to do in person than it is to do online. And I feel like doing it online, I feel like doing this process online has the ability to scale for me to, I'm sorry, let me look at, okay, cool. Sorry about that. Broke the momentum. Pause. Getting it back in motion. All right, let's go again. No pause. One take. That's all we're going to do, right? But I can't help but to feel that this idea of taking the comics online and finding out how to get more and more people to understand it or view it or want to buy a book, and not just a book, a bundle of them, right? It nearly feels like night and day, because it mirrors how I create these videos. And I say that by saying, when I am in a conversation with a person, I can look at their face, I can look at their body language, I can listen to how they speak, and from that, I can tell whether I should change the subject or take information, mental notes of what will be a better way to communicate a certain topic or a certain sentence for next time. But when it comes to the internet, it's very similar, but so distant at the same time. Instead of interacting in real time with a person's mannerisms, I talk to one specific person. And no, I'm sorry, it's not you, listener, listening to me right now. But it's kind of is at the same time. It's an amalgamation, a collection of the shared data of everyone listening to it. It's like the collective unconscious of the internet that I'm conversating back and forth with. And that is more transparent than an actual person. With an actual person, you need to have good people skills and react in real time. But with the internet, you look at the analytics and see where the collective unconscious, this digital person, this digital avatar, how they say this, I'm checked out. Bye, you bore me. There's tens of thousands of people wanting to grab my attention. And that scares me a lot. To the point where I try to do videos like this time and time and time again. And my biggest fear is I'm not interesting enough. My presentation is not interesting enough. I usually would want to do these types of videos after drinking like a cup of coffee, get some caffeine in me, so I can wear some mask to feel more entertaining. But as you can hear, I have a little grovel in my voice and I'm talking more slowly. That's because I just woke up from a nap. And I wanted to stream, but I was having a little bit of a back and forth with myself, thinking people don't like streams, or or maybe I should make a video because videos like this may or may not be more evergreen. But through that back and forth, which won out in the end. Or maybe I'll just give up on this video midway through editing. But that's neither here or there. So, drop the cap I was fiddling with. That goes into another thing, which I'll probably leave off after saying it because I feel like this video has gone long enough. What I'm staring at right now is Kindle Direct Publishing, because I'm trying to upload a different version of Just a Reaper to sell to different, not sell, but to present to different, what are those things? What are they called? They're not literary agents, but different production companies. This one is Matt's idea. And the idea consists of, instead of going to literary agents or publishers, we go to, I forgot the production studios, talent agencies, so on and so forth. And the goal is to probably get a show from that, or probably just to say that we are talent and we're willing to, and we have an IP that we can make something out of. Which, now that I think about it, they'll probably ask for if we can show them if we can sell 10,000 copies. That usually seems like the magic number, right? Right? And will we get to that 10,000? Maybe. But I'm not thinking about it. It's not at the forefront of my mind. The whole thing is to get our foot in the door, not directly and say, hey, give us a show, but it's more of a shoot for the stars so they can land in the clouds. Maybe we'll have some internships. Maybe that'll get our foot in the door to meet some industry people, to show that, to know people, to network, right? Because at the end of the day, with this weird, ever-changing industry or ever-changing world that we live in the sense of entertainment, it's still about who you know. And if you have capital behind you to boost your status, right? That reminds me of a tweet that I saw where a person was talking about a video of a girl playing the most meticulous riff on her guitar. And the guy said something along the lines of him having a theory of the current generation has grown up on YouTube learning directly from the masters, how to hone their craft from the masters, to the point where they're able to copy the best of the best, but they cannot produce original works. They cannot compose anything. They're good at iterating, but not innovating. And I looked at that and I believed for 1 second. I believed in it for 1 second. But then I had another thought. And that other thought is that we are living in a time that's post monoculture. A lot of celebrities that we have, they're not built to last like more than 5 years. They come and they go. We don't have another Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Michael Jackson, Prince. And I don't think it's anyone is specifically is to blame for that. It's the fact that we have so many disruptive technologies to the point where so many people are able to get what they want from their talents on their own without having a big without having much capital. They are rare cases, don't get me wrong, they are rare, but that also changes the game a little bit, where you don't have to be a huge splash in the pan to make a living off of what you do. You can still be niche and still eat well, right? But there is, and where I would say we'll leave that off is the game has pretty much changed, and now all we see ourselves in is trying to understand what are the rules of the game. And maybe the game changes every quarter. Maybe it changes every year. We don't know how much it changes. But the goal is there. The goal is there. How to get there just is less clear. So that's all I have for right now. If you're this far into the video, tell me, what is what is the manga, or well, actually, yeah, what is another manga that I should read? Actually, I did that last time. Let's see. If anybody, tell me about your favorite childhood game. It doesn't have to be a video game. It has to be. It can be a game that you played, a board game, a playground game, something that you liked playing when you were younger. Video game, board game, playground game. Just reminiscing on the fondness of childhood. With that being said, I'm Masonimous. Check out my website. The bundle, the Masonimous Collection, is officially available to purchase. You can buy Purgatory Academy Book 1, 2, Chimera Island Chapter 0, and Let's Go Metal Hero and Just a Reaper Chapter 1, a value of $90, around that, I'm not good at math, down to $50, $49.99. And so if you ever want to have an easy way to have all those pages in your hands, that's the way to do it. For a low price of $49.99. That's the way to do it. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'll check y'all later. Bye.